Alrighty then, welcome back to Required Watching, where what do we do? We watch films from a list of cinematic influencers and look at them through the lens of learning about filmmaking, how to move forward. I'm your host Trey Epps, and today, gonna keep it simple and smooth. We're gonna talk about the movie Trap by M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan. And listen, I was really, really excited to see this film. It stars Josh Hartnett um, and Salenka. I didn't write it down. Um, and it was a really exciting move into kind of it's been a bit of a drought the last few weeks of movies that I could have gone without seeing, and unfortunately, this was one of those movies where I actually was really excited to be in my seat, and when the lights went down, ate all my popcorn immediately because that's the kind of guy that I am. But as soon as those lights came back up and the film was over, I looked over to my wife and we kind of had the same expression of like, what is it that we just watched? And I'll say this: I did have a bit of an expectation of like there's going to be a twist at the end of this film, and was there? Spoiler alert in case you are going to see this movie, but I'm not sure if there was a twist in this movie. Does anyone else think there was a twist in this movie? Was it that uh, I don't know, Josh Hartnett's character got away from Josh Hartnett is a serial killer, or yeah, he's a serial killer, and he takes his daughter to a concert, all to find out that the concert is a trap for him to catch the killer that's been on the loose. And we spend three-quarters of the movie, I think it was three-quarters of the movie, at this concert trying to figure out, or with Josh Hartnett's character, trying to figure out how in the world he's going to escape this movie, escape this concert. I wish I could escape this movie. And then we take a turn. And we finally leave the concert, and we kind of see how he's going to get out of this pickle. Um, yeah, I think the concept of being stuck at a concert and having people look for you is really, really fun. I was really excited to see, you know, the walls kind of come in on like this cat and mouse game, and you're kind of just stuck in this one location, and have these SWAT guys kind of come in and hunt you down. The problem with this premise is we don't learn until later on is that the only reason that the cops are there and people are there is that like in a safe house they found a receipt for this concert, and because they found it at a safe house or it had some evidence of this killer being there, that they knew the killer was going to be there. They just knew the killer was going to be there, and I think this movie has just a lot of like maybe plot armor perhaps, where like everything is just like there's no reason for it to have gone down the road that it had. It just kind of felt kind of circumstantial and not like it was building up to it. And there was like, I think the best movie experience is when you feel like there's no other way that any of this was going to go. And, like we may have that doubt of like, why didn't you turn left or look behind you or this, that, but I think you kind of walk away and you go like, this is satisfying because like this character had to do this. And as we build up our scripts and we build up our, we start shooting these things, I think that's like they may feel like they have free will, but reality we're constructing their world. So like we only allow them to go down one road. And I feel like in the Script Notes podcast, I think Craig and John kind of talk about it like maybe in relation to games or something like that. But like when you're playing a game, you feel like you can do whatever you want in these like wide open worlds. But like you're really doing, the the five choices that the developers allow you to do, but you feel like you can do all of this. And even in Grand Theft Auto, where you can make 1,000 different moves, it's all because the designers designed it that way. Otherwise, you're going to walk down this path. No, you're not going to go down this door because it's blocked by crates for some reason. And I feel like in movies, it should be the exact same way. And in this movie, it kind of didn't feel like it had any of those choices made. Or should I say, it felt like it had those choices already made. That from when you're watching it, it didn't work. It didn't make sense. So yeah, like again, I'm my only expectation and the only real thing about it is that this killer is Josh Hartnett and he's trapped, and that's it. So I'm expecting for this to be to play out a bit more. And unfortunately, it does. It does. It really, really does. And I wish what they would have done is keep it in the concert, which was kind of unrealistic to begin with, because the mechanism of the location being the concert had Josh Hartnett kind of just leaving his daughter every 2 seconds whilst in the middle of this concert. And the only way I could have justified it in my head is that if the singer was kind of like a 3 hour long performance like Taylor Swift. But even then, like, how believable is, like, Taylor Swift doing a 3 hour show is exceptional because people don't do 3 hour shows. But to have this dad in floor seats just kind of like wandering around the concert trying to figure out what's going on, how to get out. Again, fun, interesting. You can probably suspend your disbelief for that bit. But as we get further and further along, we have to suspend our disbelief a little bit more, and that becomes a little bit problematic. We have this, for whatever reason, we have this singer who gets involved, and for a good chunk of the movie, she becomes the second lead. And I'm going to say this is a problem with M. Night Shyamalan, and like, the lenses that he used on this woman made her look very distorted. And I think, now that I say this out loud, we could look at this from the perspective of the killer. But if you don't do that and you just watch the movie, you're like, why does her head look so large? Why does she look so disfigured? It really tripped me out. But also, the actress isn't good, because she's saying things that people don't say. I think that's just it's hard to fight bad dialogue with someone who's not an experienced or as an experienced actor. So, like, yeah, we go from one step to another step to then at the very, very end of the movie, we're getting all of this exposition about this person who I don't think we're meant to care. I don't know if we're meant to care about, and I'm not sure why we're getting all of this exposition. Then we have his wife, who's played by the brilliant Alison Pill. Like, it just felt... Yeah, at the end, it kind of just felt like we're going through the motions to get to the end of the film. And when it comes to M. Night Shyamalan movies, I always wonder if there's a director's cut. Mainly because I'm like, is this the version that he wanted to put out, or the version that, like, had to come out for whatever reason? Because let's be honest, like, studios have notes. We know that things get lost in post-production. We know that, shit happens on set. We understand this. But there's something so... It felt like a weird break in the movie a few times, and I'm just unsure. I'm unsure how it relates to the universe of M. Night Shyamalan, which we're told, like, I think we're meant to believe that all of his movies are in the kind of the same universe. Not that it matters at all. It's just something that you know, right? But yeah, I feel like we haven't seen the director in such a long time. We haven't seen Josh Hartnett in a leading role like this in such a long time. I felt like he deserved better, Josh Hartnett, but I also think M. Night Shyamalan deserved better. And I think he puts himself in the movie, and he's like, oh yeah, that's my niece, or my uncle, or something like that. And because the actress isn't that great, in my mind, I'm like, are they actually related? Like, is he doing this woman a favor by putting her in the movie, and therefore her songs in the movie, because she wrote all of the original songs? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where this movie stands in terms of the box office. My theater was actually quite full because it was only showing 2 times in the day. It wasn't showing more than twice, which I think is hilarious. Because I wanted to see it early. I didn't want to see it late. I got things to do. But yeah, I suppose I'll wrap up by saying that it's really unfortunate. You can definitely skip it entirely, and watch some of the other better M. Night Shyamalan movies. I think if you're looking for, like, twists and turns, I will say this though, it's really kind of down to earth and really grounded film, which I think we don't get much of. Like the Sixth Sense, I remember loving because it felt so grounded, and then kind of did this genre pull out of nowhere. Even though it was a creepy movie. So there's that. Anyways, I'm not sure what people would be looking for in terms of this movie, but I would definitely say that it's something that you can definitely pass on and watch something else to kind of get your filmmaking kicks from it. But If you want to get some kicks, you can kick that subscribe button and stay tuned for our next round. If you are feeling like you want to throw a recommendation your way, because you know I'm always open, please let me know. And I'll add it to my list, and we shall be talking about it soon. So, with that, peace.